Hi everyone, Mike again with MEG Motors. Today we're going to be working on this Toro self-propelled mower. It's got a Briggs & Stratton motor on it that's called a GTS, guaranteed to start, but guess what? It won't start. It belongs to a neighbor of mine. He said it ran earlier this year, but now it won't start. And so we need to figure out why it won't start and see what we can do to get it running again. And so, just like all the stuff that we work on, we need three things to make it run. We need compression, we need spark, and the spark has to occur at the right time, and we need fuel. And so we're going to run a start-on spray test on this just like we do on the handheld equipment. We're going to open the air cleaner, we're going to spray a little carb cleaner in there, and we're going to see if we can get it to at least attempt to start. If it'll attempt to start, we know our compression's good and our ignition system's good, and we have fuel problems, which are, of course, the most common problem with these all these appliances, the handheld and the push mowers. So let's run that test and see what happens. Pop the air cleaner. Looks like he's about ready for an air filter anyway. And we'll shoot a little carb cleaner in there. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we got a little start out of it, which is good news. That means compression's good, we don't have any major engine troubles, and the ignition system is working like it should. So we have fuel problems with this one. I think we're going to pull the carburetor off of it, open it up and see what's going on in there, and see if we can get this one to run again. Alright, so let's get the carburetor off of this thing. We got this mower has one of the newer kind of carburetors on it. It's a plastic carburetor. I've seen these before. I actually worked on this mower for this neighbor once before, but apparently it's run into troubles again. Alright, and the carburetor just pulls off on these. It's not bolted to anything. We're going to pull it loose, and then for the fuel line, obviously the problem with pulling the carburetor off of this is we got a gas tank full of fuel, and we got a fuel line here that we have to disconnect. So I've got a special pair of pliers. These are made specifically just for pinching a fuel line, or any line. I guess it doesn't have to be a fuel line, but we're going to pinch this line shut. That way when we take that line off of the carburetor, we don't drain the gas out all over the floor. At least that's the plan, right? Fuel line doesn't want to come off. Let me see if I can get it to come out of any of the linkage. There we go. Alright, so it's got our carburetor off of there. Like I said, it's all plastic. So let's take it over to the bench, we'll open it up, and we'll see if we can see why this thing won't run. Alright, let's pull the bowl off of this. And the bowl can be actually pretty hard to get off of these.
Let me get a screwdriver to help with that. There we go. It's got an O-ring seal there that holds them on pretty tight. And the carburetor did have fuel in it, which is a good sign. Obviously, if the fuel wasn't flowing out of the tank, that would keep it from running, but it seemed to be flowing just fine. Let me see if I can string that into here for now. All right, so here's our carburetor. Like I said, it's a plastic carburetor. Guess the cost-cutting measures have gone pretty far these days. And it's got this plastic piece down here that you can actually buy and replace separately, but it's got a jet right here that controls the fuel flow into the carburetor. And so we're gonna just see if we can clear that jet. I suspect it's plugged up. I don't know if we have a way to confirm that before we clear it. All right. All right, so I have a small piece of wire here. This is a single strand from a handheld wire brush. It usually works pretty well on these smaller jets. There we go. And so that pushed, yeah, that pushed right through, and I can see light coming through the jet now where I couldn't before. So I'm sure that's all that was wrong with this one. You can see a little bit of the dirt right there. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. So that little piece of dirt right there is all that it took. I'm going to spray a little carburetor cleaner through there. Yep, I think that's probably going to do it. We're going to put the bowl back on this. This recess right here should go where the jet is, the fuel pickup. I'm going to push that down into place, put our screws back in. All right, let's go put this back on the mower and see if we've done any good. All right, so reverse of the removal procedure, we're going to put our throttle linkage on first, and then we're going to put our choke linkage. Make sure I'm putting that in the right spot. Yeah. There we go. We'll put the carburetor back into place. Yeah. And we need to get the fuel line on first. Fuel line on. And we'll just push the carburetor back in place. Get our fuel hose clamp back in place. And then, like I said, there's nothing that holds this carburetor on except the air filter housing. Look at that, that's even broken. So yeah, let's put this back in place. All right, let's see if we did any good. All right, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. All right, well, obviously that sounds pretty good. Started on the second pole. Now it's guaranteed to start again. So yeah, that was a pretty easy fix. Obviously, plastic carburetor, 4 screws to get it off, and clean out one tiny piece of dirt, and now we have a running mower again. So I'm going to put a new air filter on it. I've got one stored somewhere. I've got a new air filter, so I'm going to put a new air filter on it, and then yeah, I think we can call this one fixed. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it encourages you to get out and work on your own. Like I said, they're not that difficult to fix. It just takes a little time and patience. And a lot of times you can fix it, save yourself the expense of buying a new one. A mower like this is probably $250 to $300 these days. So literally that was probably a 15-minute fix start to finish. So yeah, it could save yourself the expense of buying a new mower. Anyway, like I said, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Check my playlist. There's other videos out there, and yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you on the next video.